Imagine the sun doesn't set. It vanishes, like someone blew out the world's last candle. No dawn, no warmth, no harvest, just an endless quiet dark, and the slow panic of every living thing realizing it might stay that way. But here's the detail people get wrong. This wasn't a battle where darkness won. It was a choice. A goddess stepped away, and the universe paid the bill. By the end, you'll understand why Amaterasu hid from the world, and why the way they brought her back is the real warning. Tonight, we're opening the case file of Amaterasu, Japan's sun goddess, and the night the sun disappeared behind a stone door. We start with the insult that cracked heaven, then the moment the world went cold, and we end with the strange, brilliant trick that made the sun return. In this world, the sacred isn't just holy, it's alive. A careless act can stain a place. A broken boundary can spill chaos into everything. Picture high, clean skies. Bright rice fields below, shrines that smell of wood and smoke. Wind that carries prayer like it's something physical. And in this world, breaking harmony doesn't just punish you, it unthreads you. Slowly. Completely. Amaterasu isn't a villain, she isn't fragile either. 3 anchors. Desire, to keep the world bright, ordered, livable. Light isn't just her power, it's her responsibility. Flaw/curse, she carries the weight of purity like a crown that never comes off. When the sacred is your job, you don't get to have a bad day. Status, she's the center, the sun, the measure of time itself. And still, she's family. Which means she can be hurt in a way storms can't. She wasn't a monster at the beginning. She was the one holding everything together. Then comes Susanoo, her brother. In some tellings, he's wild grief given a body. In others, he's pride with no brakes. He storms into her world with a hunger to prove something. Not to strangers, but to her. And he doesn't just argue. He breaks the rules that keep heaven clean. He tramples boundaries. He desecrates what's meant to be protected. He turns sacred space into a joke, and then into a wound. Before, Amaterasu is the sun that rises no matter what. After, she hesitates. And from that moment, it stops being a legend and becomes a warning. Beat 1. The first crack. At first, it's just disruption. The kind that makes everyone uncomfortable but no one wants to name. The air feels wrong, like incense smoke that can't find a way out. And then the consequence lands. Amaterasu's light falters, not in the sky, but inside her. A symbol appears, a boundary, not a wall, not a weapon, a line you're not supposed to cross, and Susanoo crosses it anyway. But that was only the first sign. Beat 2, no return. The second beat is uglier because it forces the issue. This isn't roughhousing, it's harm. The sacred place where creation is tended, where life and order are maintained, is violated. The story doesn't linger on gore for spectacle. It lingers on the feeling, the moment something pure becomes unsafe. And now the question tightens like a rope. If the sun goddess can't be safe in her own sanctuary, what does safe even mean? This is where everything turns. Beat 3. The trap closes. Amaterasu doesn't scream. She doesn't declare war. She simply withdraws. She walks away from the world, and she seals herself inside a cave of stone, Ama no Iwato, a door so heavy it feels like a final decision. Shorter breaths now, faster thoughts. The moment she disappears, the universe reacts like a living body losing heat. Fields fail. Spirits grow restless. Shadows lengthen into things that feel hungry. And then the price is collected. Here's what pop culture often gets wrong. People tell this like the sun got stolen, like darkness conquered light. But the deeper version is colder. The darkness isn't an enemy with a sword. It's what happens when the one holding the world together says, I can't. Another misunderstood detail. They don't bring her back with force. No hero kicks down the stone door. No army drags her out. They use something far more unsettling and far more human. Because if this version is true, it changes everything about the myth. The sun returns not because darkness is defeated, but because community becomes a mirror. While Amaterasu is gone, the world doesn't just get dim. it becomes unrecognizable. Without light, order collapses. Without order, fear breeds. And fear invites the worst parts of us to stand up and stretch. But here's the irony that makes this myth sting. Amaterasu hides to protect herself, to preserve what's sacred inside her, and the world outside begins to rot without her. She gets what she wanted, silence, distance, safety, but it destroys the very thing she was meant to protect. The price isn't paid in gold. It's paid in time, warmth, and trust. Maybe that's why this story survives, because it mirrors a fear we still carry. Not the fear of monsters, the fear of disappearing. That moment when you're exhausted, overwhelmed, ashamed, or betrayed, and you don't want to fight. You don't want to explain. You just want to close the door and let the world go on without you. But the world doesn't go on. It changes. And sometimes the only way back isn't someone yelling outside your cave. It's someone reminding you, gently, that you still exist. Amaterasu didn't vanish because darkness was stronger. She vanished because even a sun can reach a breaking point. And the echo is simple. When the light withdraws, the world learns what it was living on. If you want more myth case files like this, like the video, and comment the next myth you want me to open. Quietly, candlelit, and true.